Okay, figured I'd show you my Pops collection. Spent me a long time obtaining some of these. Some of them came in anime goodie bags at conventions, or just bought them at Hot Topic or Box Lunch. To be openly honest with you, I'm very proud of what I have. Let's see, that right there, for all you academia fans out there, myself included, that is, Stay in the Hero Killers up there, let's see if you can zoom up on them. There. That right there is Enchantress. Oh. Mirror Universe Spock was one that one of my brothers got for me. I think it was Brad or Jamie that got that. Yeah, it was my brother James that got one for me. Got that one for me. This is one my brother got for me, Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China. I wasn't necessarily a fan of the movie, but I heard it's pretty good. Now back there is a Hawkeye and Spider-Man. I've not updated my listing on come to think of it, what I'm trying to say is I haven't updated my listings on Vinyl Pops, trying to see how much I've got and how much my collection is worth. For those of you who want to know something, this Klingon Knight here was the very first. It was the very first pop I ever got. The very first one. It was in an anime goodie bag, a random goodie bag, and I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty good. Down here, underneath some anime posters that I had signed, some autographs that I've yet to hang up, are some more pops that I've got. Yes, I even got the Predator right there. And Dr. Wily. Oh, sorry. This Mega Block Star Trek thing I got it in an Ollie's outlet store. It was pretty good. I kind of like it because it looks pretty good, you know. This right here was a Star Wars Jen Erso. Speaking of, I got her over here as well. I liked Jen Erso. She was pretty badass in the movie. It's kind of a shame that I'm not going to say what happens to her, but here we have is Link and Zelda, two of my anime action figures, and as you can tell, I'm a big fan of Mr. T. Oh, and check out my Pops collection from My Hero Academia. I've got Momo, Yaoyorozu, All for One, Deku, Ochaku, and even All Might. I was going to get one of Stain, but they didn't have him. This right here is Jafar. Now, behind Jen Erso is a talking Stein doll. Talking Psy doll from Duck Dynasty. Yeah, I watched it for a little bit. It was crazy. It was silliness, but hey, it was all right. Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. An Evangelion. I got that for Christmas one year. Or was it my birthday? I don't know. Anyways, you know, I've got a ninja, and this right here is Robert E. Lee. Yes, I know how some of you may feel about that kind of thing, but it's mainly for historical purposes. Kind of like that 12-inch G.I. Joe of, right here of, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I don't know if you can see him, but that's a 12-inch G.I. Joe of not Franklin Delano Roosevelt, excuse me, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and laying next to him is, right underneath that Romulan bird of prey, is Dr. Doom. I got some Legos that appeared in some of my videos, and I don't know if you can see him back there, but that's Bishop. That wig right there was in Arkham Patrol, and it's going to be in an additional video of Where Tingles Dare. This, although it's not, doesn't have its warp engines and it's collecting a little dust, is Enterprise D from Playmates. It was a toy that my grandma got for me one year for my birthday. Oh, and here she goes right here. We have Maka Auburn from Soul Eater. That was a pretty good anime. Oh dear. Crud bucket. My helmet. Those of you familiar with this right here will recognize that this right here is the hat I usually wear is General Rage, and that's Sergeant Kramer's helmet. And inside is General Rage's medals that I often wear in Where Tingles Dare. Little spoiler alert, Sergeant Kramer comes back in episode 8. And pretty much so. I got a lot of stuff. That's Pink Piggy. I've got some money in that piggy bank. I had to sew one of his little hooves because it was coming apart. And laying down right here are Victor and Pascal. Victor appeared in Where Tingles Dare episode 6. And things like that. Some DVDs. Over here on the wall there's some Final Fantasy action figures. Hein is actually my brother's. The Final Fantasy action figures were given to me by a friend of mine. They were given to me by a friend of mine in Arkansas, a roommate of mine. Excuse me, not a roommate, but a dear friend of mine. And she basically didn't want them. I don't know the whole story behind it all, but I think it's like a friend of hers that had them, like, passed away or sold them and didn't want them anymore. Needed some extra money, so she bought them and then gave them to me. It's like, hey, you want them? I was like, sure. Alright, this right here is where I normally sit. I always put, you know... Oh! I'd love to edit that out. No, you can't see nothing. Stuff like that, you know. And inside that box, I have a lot of boxes in here, mostly of books. I have, I don't know if any of y'all heard that sound or not, but that's okay. This is my cosplay box. I'm not going to open it because you know my cosplays. Now, this lightsaber here, hold on a second. This lightsaber doubles as my flashlight. I'm going to scratch my head for a bit. It's basically the one thing that helps me see in the dark at night. And it lights up the area, you know, pretty good, you know. I remember one time when there was a lot of storms down here, I used this green lightsaber as kind of like a light, since I didn't have like a flashlight. And it was raining hard, like raining like hell. So I practically had this lightsaber on me, which doubles as my flashlight, so it works. My foam boffer swords, I did boffer sword fighting for a little while, but you know how that goes. And the posters, you know, are, you may recognize this one, for those of you who've seen Where Tingles Dare Episode 2, that this right here was in the background. So, yeah. I really do need to study this book right here, learn HTML. Oh. Yes, that is Uraraka Uchaku. No. I am not wetting it. Ugh. Personally, I don't even know what's with people in this day and age. People who think that they can marry their character pillows. If you ask me, I'd rather have a real woman. I'd rather have a real woman. The reason being is that at least a real woman, you can interact with her. Now over here is a shirt that I'm going to wear in a very future ASMR video called Vacation Roleplay. And right there is there is my Swift Indigo costume. It's an actual ninja outfit. I mean, you might have seen it in The Legend of Swift Indigo. And in Where Tingles Dare Episode 6. And over there, my foam guns that I use for Where Tingles Dare. Let me back up a little bit so you can see it clearly. I got some costume props in there. And I've got some hats over here that I've worn. Up there is Plushland. I'm still looking for my Mario beanie. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, sorry. Yes, that is a Confederate flag. No, it's nothing for anything racist or anything like that. It's more like a historical type thing. I got an entire DVD collection of the entire Civil War I've yet to watch. I've got an entire DVD collection, like a 6-part DVD collection of like the Roman Empire. This right here is what I put my phone on whenever I'm recording some of my mukbangs. Now, you should know that down here is a bunch of World War II history books. Bunch of World War II history books and big history buff. I love world history, it's pretty good. Because I love history. The meaning of communism. It's like a little historical book about communism and things like that, you know. Like how to deal with communism. That right there. Picture of like the Russian Revolution. Or rather, 1905. Basically what's going on in this picture is a bunch of Russian peasants have set fire to their landowner's house. Because in Russia, there wasn't a 1% in Russia. More accurately, it was more like a 0.1%. If that is the correct way of wording it. But in a capitalist society like ours, with hard work, tenacity, and a good skill that's needed, anybody can be 100%er in an instant. That's my opinion on the matter. Now you wonder why I zoom up on this so nobody can see what I got. That right there is my collection in the way of what I normally do in the way of perler beads. I love making perler beads. Perler beads are fun and awesomeness. Now this right here, this cosplayer right here, dressed up like Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII, is a friend of mine named Amanda Costigan. I've met her at a few cons. She's a very amazing lady, very sweet person. And that right there is Princess Allura, and you may have seen a part of it in Where Tingles to Airport 6 as well. And up there is a painting I've had, a replica of a painting rather, of my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It doesn't always mean I've always been perfect, but I've tried to live a Christian life. Of course, this is where I sleep. Of course, it's not always this messy, and I really do need to work on that laundry. I had to put that up there because I work nights, so I'm sleeping during the day. So it's pretty interesting. Well, there's nothing more I can say, because that's just the kind of person I am. Of course, there's a few more things here I'd rather not show for security purposes, but that's just the kind of person I am, I guess. Oh, and over there is my one of my battery rechargers. Anyways, I guess that's it.